I'm welcoming y'all back, but I'm welcoming Linda Chapman back also. I just didn't feel like we had finished our talk our last week, feels like yesterday, last week, and I really wanted you to come back because I feel like you've got more to offer.
Well, thank you.
And so much more that I'm hoping that Linda might be thinking about starting her own show here on Jess TV. And just as an open reminder to anybody else who is interested in maybe sharing their knowledge or sharing what they know with other people, Jess FM has a platform. If you want to get a hold of us somehow, some way, give us a line, drop us a like on our page, Jess TV, and we'll be happy to get back to you and accommodate you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about letting the past go. I know that it's been a little bit of a stressful time for Alberta and stuff that's been going on this last week, and even with the energies of the planets that have been going on, and it's just a little bit of time to grow and to let go of the past. So I'm going to let Linda speak here for a little bit, and thanks for coming back today, Linda.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And today I'm going to let you talk about some things that you want to talk about a little bit more.
Oh.
So I see that you have, well, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself.
All right.
I think people might know me by now. I am debsden.com if you want to find out more about me. I am a spiritualist. I am a medium, an angel empowerment practitioner, and the list kind of goes on. Once you get into the field of healing and metaphysical science, things really kind of, you find the connections in many different modalities of healing. So this is good for any modality of healing, and even what it is that you do.
Yeah. Which I'm formulating that still, but yes, thanks for having
me. We are
back.
always on the go.
On the go, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. I grew up in Lethbridge. I was born and raised here all of my life. I went to the Catholic Central High School, and then I graduated from LCI. I went on to college after that, went on to work with the police and the RCMP, and then had an opportunity to get into some training, so I became a recreation therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what was that entitled?
working in recreation therapy, and you touched on this last week.
Yeah.
We work with 8 areas of wellness, and
Okay,
so
that's why I know she's got a lot of information here that we didn't get to last week.
well, as you said, you can't affect one area without affecting another.
Right.
And so if you think about what we're made of, and we've got our psychological beings and our social beings, environmental, physical, emotional, spiritual, they all are interrelated and interdependent. So that
Yes.
means you can't have one affected without affecting them all. For instance, a simple sample is if you're sick with a cold and
Right.
you're sick in bed, you probably don't feel like getting up and doing anything. You
Mm-hmm.
might not feel like getting dressed or doing your hair or your makeup at the least. You might not feel like socializing, so it affects every area. And
Yeah, when you're sick, you
When-
really don't feel like getting out and doing that big social scene.
not really, no. So
But sometimes you have to.
well, that's true, and sometimes it helps to force yourself to get out. Sometimes if you can get outside, when you're having maybe some anxiety or some depression or things aren't going well in one or more of your areas, the best thing to do is to get outside, take a fresh of breath air, or a deep breath of fresh air, and look at something green. And we're lucky around here because I was just looking, our pine trees never lose their color.
No, they'll always be green.
So
Lucky.
just get out and breathe in some air and try to do something for diversion, whether it's going and looking through some books at the library, or just walking down the street and smiling at someone, because when they smile back,
Yeah.
it's infectious.
So fake it till you make it is kind of the plan.
Sometimes.
So
And sometimes
so
you
if
have
you don't,
to.
yeah, and you
Yeah.
know what? A lot of
Yeah.
people walk around that way with this big fake smile and everything's great in their life, and inside they're in turmoil.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we're going to address that a bit today on,
Yeah.
on how to deal with that outside shell compared to what's going on inside. And bringing that inside up to the shell, and,
Yeah.
and being able to, use that energy to, pretend you're feeling good until you are feeling good.
And sooner or later, something will happen to make you feel better, or you will come across something. But generally, that's what recreation therapy is using all 8 areas of wellness to help individuals live to their fullest or be as well as they possibly can. So I worked in long-term care facilities for a long time, but then I also worked in mental health for 10 years, and talk about your areas of wellness being affected.
Yeah, because there you don't know, maybe somebody had something that hurt their spirit when they were a child, or you know, maybe they came into this earth with issues, or maybe, you know, they've created issues due to a health problem, or just plain abuse, or even the worst, I think, is self-abuse.
Yeah, that
is self-infliction, where people allow themselves to think negatively about themselves.
Yeah. And one thing that we suffer from, because I don't think they have it in school still, is we don't learn positive self-esteem or effective communication and simple skills that can help us in everyday life. And if we don't have those skills, as in the tools in the toolbox, then it's really difficult. And it can get more difficult, and then your spirit gets low, and you need to pick me up somehow, whether it's picking yourself up or locating someone to help you in that line of getting help picking yourself up. And you know, just one positive, if you can see one positive thing or one thing to be grateful for in a day, work on that, and the next day think about it and look for something else to be grateful for.
Maybe that's kind of like with me in golfing. You know, I'm not by any means a good golfer, but you know, as long as I get that one shot that works for me, then I'm kind of like, yay, it was a successful game. So I think, maybe if you take that, you know what, it was a successful day because, you know, I made one person smile. And sometimes if you're feeling bad, it's maybe important to go out of your way to make one person smile. And I think that even just knowing that you've made that little bit of an impact in just one day, helps to lift you a little.
And there's other opportunities to, once you're feeling up to it, and depending where you are in your wellness, you could volunteer, you could go help with animals that need...
Volunteer, there's never enough volunteers.
No, and there's so many places that can use volunteers, and what a great way to help your spirit than to help someone else in the same time. So
yeah, and you know that no matter where you go to volunteer, that sense of giving, I believe, comes back tenfold, because it's so worth it. And I know people have told me, why would you volunteer so much when you don't get paid? Well, I don't get paid in money.
Exactly.
But I do get paid in eternal happiness. Maybe, you know, maybe there's something in heaven waiting for me because because I have helped and I have tried to make this a better world in my life.
And I'm sure there's been points when you've been at your lows and you had to kind of kick yourself to get out of your way.
Oh, like daily. That's a daily event.
Okay.
I'm brutally honest. I know. I don't have filters.
That's okay, though. Honesty is a good thing. You know, sometimes I think too often we don't say things because we're afraid of what you're going to say or how you're going to react. But if you think about it, if you can present in what you're going to say in as positive a way as possible, you're probably going to find out that the person is not going to react the way you thought, because they probably will react in a more responsible way or a positive way, so that you don't have to be afraid to say things. We hold a lot.
No, I offend people all the time. I do, but you know what? It's coming from my heart, and I would rather be honest with somebody and I'm seeing it from a different point of view, my point of view from a different point of view. And sometimes it's because they're in a dark place where they see my point of view as not the way I do. So I have to really go through and explain, I'm sorry you took it that way. because
Yeah.
and then when they realize, wow, I could have taken that a different way, they realize that, you know, I didn't mean to hurt their feelings.
No.
I didn't.
No.
I meant to make them feel better, or maybe even to just grow a little.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people need that little push to grow.
And that happens so often when you think about communicating with whoever it is, you and I, or you know, you and your spouse, or whoever it is that you're communicating with. Too often we assume people have ESP, or they know what we're thinking. And I haven't met many people who know that or who have ESP. And so
I work with people with ESP.
I'm looking forward to that.
Come and join us at the Spiritualist Center.
I'm coming, yes.
Oh, great.
Yes.
This week should be fun.
Oh, it's
Sunday
gonna be fun.
Sunday service is at 7 p.m. this week, and don't miss it. It's going to be great. I believe we have Shelley Ewell in the house.
That's going to be awesome.
Yes, and she's also teaching a course this weekend too.
I'm going to.
Oh, did you check into that?
Going to, you bet.
Oh, excellent.
You bet.
Progress.
Oh,
progress for Deb Stan. That's great.
Yes, so much there. Yes, so much there.
Yeah.
But, you know, going back to the communication is to ensure that someone heard you right. It doesn't hurt to write things down. I'm a believer in writing things down, to taking it out of the goldfish bowl up here, and it makes it concrete, and then you can work on what you want to say. If you're a person that might say things without thinking and getting into trouble sometimes that way.
So like text and then don't send.
Oh, yes.
Don't send.
Yes, don't send. Don't have texting, yes. I forgot about texting. I'm into writing stuff down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I write it down and then look at the text and then think, okay, I'm going to put that down and wait.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then if I feel that way in 15 minutes, maybe I'll send. And you know what? Mostly if you're texting as a reaction to another text, it's best to walk away.
And
if it's something that, you know, it shouldn't be said.
On the topic of texting, I mean, I'm coming from the days before we had texting and we had face-to-face contact, or you would telephone someone. Technology has made communication even more challenging, because if you're not with that person, you can't see their reaction. You can't see how they took it. You can't even hear how they took it, because texting back, there's too many filters. It just doesn't seem to work as well as full-on communicating with that person one-to-one.
Unless you've developed a relationship where you can feel what they're feeling.
Well, there you go.
So it doesn't matter what they say, I can feel what you're feeling. So
Yeah. So little hints like that in working with people, just finding out ways to make life a little easier, a little simpler, because as you said, we have so much going on, the election and all the political things and the worldly things going on.
And people disagreeing with their political points. And, you know, we should just respect people for their points and their decisions, and, you know, work on yourself.
Exactly.
Instead of trying to change somebody else.
I brought a positivity pledge that maybe you'd like to read.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I love things from Facebook that have sayings and positive vibes.
Yes, I'm fanatical for sharing on Facebook.
So I just printed this one off, and it's called Positivity Pledge. And it says, I shall no longer allow negative thoughts or feelings to drain me of my energy. Instead, I shall focus on all the good that is in my life. I will think it, feel it, and speak it. By doing so, I will send out vibes of positive energy into the world, and I shall be grateful for all the wonderful things it will attract into my life.
Well, I think we all need to focus on that. I think that if every one of us woke up every morning and looked at this pledge and read it, that the world would be a better place. I think for everybody.
And expecting the positivity.
Yes. And protruding it, actually. I believe that the earth is, we are a collective soul, and that everybody on the earth is collected. So when you push in fear and you push in anxiety and you push kids out of school and you tell people things that aren't true and push fear into people, that you're actually feeding the darkness.
Mhm.
You're actually feeding the dark in people. You're feeding the dark in the planet. You're feeding the darkness everywhere.
Mhm.
Whereas if that person woke up and said, I'm going to help, not instead of, forcing people to believe things that aren't true, but actually doing what we do and
Mhm.
doing what you do and being positive.
Yeah, being positive and helpful. It's catchy, and I'm not trying to live the Pollyanna life that everything's wonderful and flowers are falling at my feet all the time, because I've been around people that working, and even when I've gone through, life can be really hard,
Mm-hmm.
no doubt, and I'm not trying to negate that,
No.
but reach out to find some support if you can. Reach out one person, then 2 people, 3 people, and you'll find you'll support each other, and then it just grows.
Well, I know that even if you're having a lot of people who are down and depressed, and this is the season, really, that when the trees are dying, everything's falling apart. There's no more sunshine. People get sick because there's not enough. They're not getting enough sunshine, and then that's where they start to fall into that.
Oh, yeah.
That hole, that dark hole.
Yeah.
I used to wish I was a bear so I could just hibernate for the winter. I'll catch you in the spring. That I swear I must have been a bear in a past life, because that is really what I want to do. But we have to push forward. We have to keep going, and we have to be there for other people. I find that finding a support group, or even finding people who are like-minded, no matter what it is. If you like video games, or you like baking, or you like doing needlepoint, or you like talking to angels,
That's right.
or talking to spirit, or singing a song, or doing yoga, or doing spiritual dance, go on to Meetup and just type in your interests. And you would be amazed what this city of Lethbridge and all around, what there is to offer. Because this is an incredibly tuned in, and I believe that Lethbridge has been tuned in all of my life. I have felt very connected to spirit here. And I think that this is a powerhouse that we should be proud of and nurture and keep that positive flow of energy going to the earth.
I agree. And the same with, when you're around someone that's having a hard time, my other favorite saying is, never look down on someone unless you're helping them up.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that, you look around the city, and right now we're having some issues with good times and bad times, and things happening in the city. Don't look down and turn people away just because they're not pretty or successful or
are living on the street and vandalizing and wrecking everything. This was such a beautiful city, and it's just really sad that things have gone the way they've gone over the last 4 years. And I'm hoping that the next 4 years are going to turn things around. That and it's up to every one of us to raise that vibration of positivity.
You can't sit back and expect things to happen.
You can't just sit back and let things happen on their own. Volunteers are needed. Like watching the people that walk the streets that are helping. They have, I don't know what they're.
Red Watch.
Yeah, the Red Watch.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. Oh my gosh.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, making a difference.
And I've watched them be with people, and the ones that I've seen are so kind and helpful and not judgmental and dissing. And so kudos to that program, because
that is huge.
It's a really good program. And if you sit back and expect things to change, but you're not doing anything, if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Exactly. So that's why I have Deb's Den, is because I want to make a change. I want to make things a little bit better on this planet than it was, or than it is. And I actually really feel that people are being awakened, and they might need some guidance. I know I've been following astronomy this week and astrology, and there's a lot of transition going from people are actually being booted faster than they can can comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
So people are starting to wake up. Their spirit is waking up, saying, I need to do more with my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to help. I need to do something. I need to move ahead. I need to help.
Yeah.
Even when they're low, they still feel like they want to help.
Yeah. And about being, waking up and those people that are waking up, to me that means a understanding or a feeling or a comprehension of the bigger picture of life. Don't want to get too big because I can let you do that, but
yeah, well, too big, like that life is really nothing and we're all just these little white beams floating around. Yes, I do believe that we are all just light energy, and that and when we think negative thoughts, it dimmens our light.
Yep. Negative attracts negative.
Yeah.
Positive attracts positive.
So
yeah.
If you're having trouble, just keep on plugging at it, keep being positive.
That's the one of the good things about the internet, social media, is you can go on and find positive things
very easily.
Very easily.
With the world at your fingertips, it's easy to choose something positive instead of maybe Jerry Springer or something.
The Housewives of whatever county.
Or even the news. Like the news can be depressing. It's the same story every day, blah, blah, blah. And it's sad where you could be spending your time learning.
Exactly.
And doing something productive.
Yeah.
And being happy and helping people.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not to say living on Google is the best thing ever, because some people might find that they have a not an illness, but maybe something wrong, or they think there's something wrong, and then they start Googling the medical system. Yeah, beware of creating issues that aren't there, because then your anxiety can come into play, and that's when this next one I
okay.
typed
What
up
do you
for
got?
us.
What do you got next?
I have, what if, then what?
Right. So
My favorite thing in the world to help with anxiety, depression, problems.
okay, so what if? What do you mean?
Okay, so do you have any worries ever, like what if I'm late, or what if?
That was me today.
So what if
be late? I just
what if
texted
I'm
you,
late?
said,
Then what? Exactly.
Brent will be
You
here.
did it.
He'll
Then what?
handle it.
Exactly.
I just
No worries.
Yeah, I wasn't worried.
There you go.
I knew I'd be here on time.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't speeding.
It's okay. I was ready to go. Hey, that's on our way.
Yeah, I thought you would be. So I was like, it's under control. Thanks again for saving me today.
But, no worries. But we can run our lives with what if, and I think it's 80% of what we worry about never even happens. So we waste a lot of time.
I think that destroys a lot of marriages, I think. What if my wife is doing something? What if my husband did this? And, maybe the guy's like completely honest and maybe doing something nice, helping somebody.
Yeah.
And,
clarify.
And then all of a sudden he's got a what if problem.
Yeah. Lots of us tend to, for some reason, we jump to the what if, and we stop there. We stop at the what if this, what if that. But the way to work through that and stop that is to answer it. So what if I get a flat tire on the way to Deb's Den? Then what? I'll walk, or I'll call AMA, or I'll flag someone down.
I'll
something.
Ride. I'm just kidding. I'm not suggesting that. Call me. I'll come get you.
I'll call Deb. There you go. Then what? Call Deb. But it really helps take the worry out of here and put it down in front of you, so that you can then move on to something else that might be more beneficial to you than worrying.
Well, I think with the what if, people create all kinds of garbage in their head.
Oh, I know I
Fear.
It's possible.
I've done a lot of work, so I'm not really good at the what if. I'm pretty real.
That's good.
Besides that, talking to the dead, being a medium, and all that other stuff on the other side. I mean, that to me, I can, because of the evidence, I know that superficial things are really not real. Yeah. And for somebody to say what if, to me is a garbage conversation.
Yeah.
To me it's kind of like it's not responsible thinking.
Yeah.
To think, what if, what if I get a flat? Well, now you're starting to create that energy for one thing.
Yeah.
So even by saying in a relationship, what if my husband or what if my wife is having an affair? now you've put that energy out there. All she's hearing is go have an affair. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm not, because a lot of times that's the energy you're putting out.
That's right.
You're going to start creating that.
Very possibly.
So when you start creating fear and creating negative energy in your life, Linda says to say,
what if? Then what?
Then what? Then what?
I before 2011, I was going along strong and working on, I had all these things under my belt, and then I got a big kick, I'll say, from the universe.
Right in the back.
Right in the back, that's right. Right in the back end, in the form of a car accident. And in hindsight, in a twisted way, I'm grateful because of the life that it's led me to, and it's given me a lot more empathy for people that go through things that I've gone through, and I can understand. I definitely understand pain a lot better now.
And never underestimate a person's pain.
And
you're not in their body. You do not know.
That's right.
But you can sympathize.
Yeah, you can
a
sympathize.
little bit better now that you've gone through
I can
it.
definitely empathize now.
Yeah.
Definitely. And with pain, or with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, when we have a broken arm, we have a cast on it. So you can see I have a broken arm.
Right.
We don't walk around with a cast on our head, so you can't see that I'm really
not to.
that. Yeah, try not to. You can't see within, so a lot of times we might tend to look and go, well, what's wrong with you? You look fine. And that, in a way, makes a person a little more defensive, because it's like, well, I've got this going on and that going on, and then the worry and the anxiety, and then it becomes a contest sometimes for people that, well, I have this, well, I have that, and I have this, and I have that. And it just doesn't serve any good purpose to live in the what if this is going to happen. So I implore everyone, take out a piece of paper, or take out your phone. Sorry, the texting generation now, right?
I just talked to Siri. Hey, Siri. No, better not say that, or she's turned on.
But I mean, you could even have a page somewhere on your phone, maybe, that you could hit a button and it might come up always and say what if, then what, and trigger your mind to do that, so you don't have to go through what if, then what. Even just having those words out, and also having the word breathe in front of you, so that it triggers you to take a deep breath, and that moment to realize, okay, maybe things aren't this bad as I'm thinking they are. Maybe I can get help. I can talk to someone. I should phone someone. I'll go outside. And then keep going, doing something to take your mind off of what your pain is, or your issues are.
Or your heartbreak, and if you're separating from somebody, which is really difficult. I know I watched, You Asked For It this week, and it made me cry.
Oh.
I don't know if you watched that show, but our boys, the guys are broken up.
Oh.
So, and one of our guests is leaving. So that was very hard.
Sad.
Hard for Jess. So,
so okay.
Makes me sad to think. I don't want to think it. So now, I've thought a sad thought. Okay. So now I'm going to turn around, and what I tell people for every sad thought, to think of 3 really good things.
That's good.
So possibly I have a new opportunity to work in Vulcan at the health food store. So I'll be there to help people. So I'll be there on Halloween, actually.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I won't be here next week for Halloween. I will be busy and away out of town. So this is my Halloween show.
Oh, for the orange. Okay, I'm glad.
Orange and black, yes, we're Halloweening today. And I want people to realize that it is, maybe if you are feeling down and out, maybe it is a good time to dress up and just be somebody.
Live it out.
Go be somebody who's your hero instead of something ghoulish or ugly. Go try to do something big and something fancy and make people laugh.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I think that's a good thing too, is when people feel down and out, is to laugh.
Oh,
I think laughing is
huge. Because if you think about it, laughing makes you take a deep breath. And I remember reading statistics, and who knows who counted these statistics, that children on average laugh 144 times a day. I don't know who counted these statistics, But then
That's a
the
good number.
question is, how many times do adults laugh per day? And the answer was 4.
Oh, no.
So
I watch a lot of funny stuff.
Good.
I
You
wake
need-
up and I want to have my laugh. It might be a political laugh, but I got to see what Mark Dice is up to.
Yeah,
He
I
likes
watch
it.
my animals.
Oh,
I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and I now have a male singing canary that sings at the top of his lungs from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. straight through. And when company comes over, he gets louder. It's kind of funny.
kind of funny in a go sleep downstairs kind of way. No, just
I
kidding.
love it. I've been waiting 55 years for this bird. So
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah.
well then that's a good thing.
It's a good
to
thing.
to have that wake
Yeah.
up call
Yeah.
of life,
yeah,
and you know there is that you could set that little call on your phone if you feel like necessary to have that.
Mm.
I actually advise people to do a mantra or a little saying. You know, I forgive myself for everything.
big.
I forgive everyone for everything, and I love myself as an alarm clock every day until you get it through and you actually can say it and feel it and mean it with everybody and everything and yourself. Because I think a lot of people walk around holding grudges.
And forgiveness is hard but easy once you make your mind up. But you have to get to that stage and work
Right.
through things too. And
Well, and you know what, and that's what I mean, like by having to set that alarm every day,
Mhm.
because sometimes the pain is so real and
Yeah.
so raw and
Yeah.
so hurtful,
Yeah.
Especially when going through relationship breakups that, you know, you don't know, you don't really, or even when you lose somebody, which is even worse. That is, a breakup is losing somebody.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
even if there's just a great deal of separation for people whose husbands and stuff work overseas or are in the military, you know, these people are like, kudos to them who, you know, those people who put their life on the line. You know, if your husband or your wife is a police officer, you don't know if they're coming home when they leave for work in the morning.
Mhm.
And that's just something you live with every day.
Mhm.
And I think that the idea of keeping that positive
Mhm.
vibration going in your life by having that alarm that comes on every day that says,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, yeah. Tapping
Is-
into people like you.
Mhm.
I mean, you're instantly. I feel better. You know, I mean, you just have this.
Yeah. It's because I'm
Awesome
bringing in the out,
personality.
I'm bringing in the energy, bringing
Well
in
done.
the,
It's
bringing in the
awesome.
power, bringing in the light.
No, that's good. And so, you know, we reach out as we can, and there might be other people out there that can reach out that maybe haven't thought about, you know, gee, what could I do today for someone, or where could I go volunteer, or who needs me, or what can I do?
You know, it's
You
like
know?
daily that people find me. They just call me and find me and just they attract to me daily, and I'm happy
Yeah.
to be there for them
Yeah.
when I have the time and stuff. So it's, you know, I don't get paid for a lot of it, but I do. Somehow the universe is taking care of me. I
Yeah.
do believe that.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, like you said the last time I was on, I said I haven't worked in 10 years, but I haven't worked at that job for 10 years.
Yeah, that was an eye roll. I was like,
Working in-
oh, really?
But
I don't
it's like
believe you.
being paid for what you do is,
Yeah.
you know, this is huge payment. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, my
It
heart
is.
just, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being able to even, you know, brighten one person's day is
Huge.
help.
It
So
definitely-
never allow someone to be your priority. We're allowing yourself to be their option. So to me, that's still a tough one.
I know.
But I am thinking about it a lot.
It doesn't mean that person's not important or that you're not going to do things that you did before. But what changes is when you become the person, you want to be healthy, you want to take care of you. They say in a relationship, you need 2 healthy individuals. And so if one person isn't healthy, it puts a strain on the relationship. They say a relationship's like a bank account. If you deposit, that's good. But if you withdraw, it becomes bankrupt. So that self-esteem, thinking of self, feeling self, knowing self is worth, I think is so important, because when you feel important or when your self-esteem is healthy, then you attract because it's positive. And so if you feel like you're an option and maybe you're not someone's priority and you wish you were, you could always sit down and say, this is how I'm feeling. Make sure they understand and say it back to you in how you meant, because we lose a lot in communication. But if you're feeling like that, the other person might not know, you know?
Oh, no, they know.
Okay.
No. It's just it's a condition that, you know, if sometimes things are just not the right time.
Mm-hmm.
It could be timing.
Yeah.
Could be, you know, other commitments. Could be, you know, financial problems. It could be
Lots of stuff.
And somebody not being in a good emotional state and saying,
Mm-hmm.
no, I need to fix me first,
Mm-hmm.
and that also being part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there could be all kinds of things,
Oh, yeah.
you know, reasons why people don't meet in the middle.
That's right. But if you knew that I felt that way, and I knew that you didn't know I felt that way, then it would open a little bit of communication for us to start thinking, okay, how can we fix this so that we can help each other but help ourselves as well?
And I think that takes a lot of looking in the mirror.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you're doing this, letting somebody else be a priority in your life. A lot of times I think it's parents.
And there's a difference, a huge
Yeah.
difference between parenting or you know,
But even still, parenting without
Well-
putting yourself as a priority, making sure that you're
No.
taken care of, making sure your health is good, making sure you're doing what you need to do to make
Yeah.
their life easier. It is important to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you'll start taking things out on them, or, you know, especially if there's a lot of times I think with relationships, if you're mad in one area and you're afraid to discuss it, like you said, it's
Sure.
good to discuss things, open them up.
Definitely, yeah.
You might turn around and take that out on somebody else who's just a bystander going, what did I do?
Mhm.
You know, and I think that's where we really got to look in the mirror
Mhm.
and say, what can I do to
Mhm.
fix this?
And
Instead
I
of just
think, you
waiting
know,
for it to happen on its own.
That's right. And you know, when you talked about getting up in the morning and looking for positives, if you think about yourself as having a gas tank, and you know, you wake up with so much gas in your tank, and if you spend all that gas on everyone everywhere else and there's nothing left for you, it's just going to weaken you a little bit, and then you're not as strong.
Yeah.
So you need to spend some gas on yourself.
And if that means going out with your friends this weekend and having fun, dressing up and being silly on Halloween, well, might just be the answer.
Mhm.
You know, maybe it would be better for you to go out and have some fun and, you know, go out with your partner and create some good memories.
Yes.
You know, take photos, have some fun, laugh.
Laugh.
I think that's the best thing about
Oh.
Halloween is it just is just astonishing to see all of the costumes and to go out and just laugh and have fun and pretend and really escape from reality just for a little bit.
For a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that part of meditation too. Oh, where are we?
Good lead-in.
Yeah, we got a little bit of time.
Okay.
Just the way things are sitting over there, I can't see the clock. So I think though, I will be having a meditation here soon, and that it's going to be about letting go and just having fun. Unless you would like to do that meditation today.
Maybe another day.
Oh, okay.
Still new.
Okay. Well, I always just channel it through. So last week I went in to do a meditation, and it didn't come out that way. Not at all. No, wasn't not at all what I had planned. It just came out to be a clearing energy, and it felt good last week.
Okay.
I was happy with it. It felt good to just clear out everybody's property, and we white lighted everything. If you want to check that out. So this week, the main thing I want you to focus on is healing yourself instead of expecting somebody to be your hero.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where we're at, is that we want to be awake and ready for having the spirit within us to be able to raise other people up. And if somebody says they're having a bad day, don't tell them that yours was worse.
No.
That doesn't make them feel better.
No.
If somebody's having a bad day, listen.
And at the appropriate time. Don't expect the wrong person to have the time to share when you explain that you're having a bad day. It might be the wrong person in the day. you know, it could be the store clerk that says, how are you doing? Ching, ching, ching is there. And you want to tell how bad your day is. They're maybe not going to be able to listen or give you the time. It might not be the appropriate person.
Okay. See, when I'm at the till, I always, when somebody asks me, how are you today, I always like to just like, I'm fantastic. Absolutely just fabulous. Thank you. And the shocked look that they have is just, I love it. It's just, it's just great to tell somebody. And you know, you can even if you're feeling down and you tell somebody you're fabulous, thank you very much.
Yeah.
The way that they come back.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
It's catchy.
It is.
It is.
So even if you are in the dark place, and even if you are feeling the negativity of the fall and the sadness coming on with everything dying, still keep that focus on, I'm fabulous today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And if you have to, left foot, right foot, repeat.
And also breathe in and breathe out, which is really important.
Yes.
So with that, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, because you do some things, and we'll talk about some of the things that you do, that you sell, and where we can contact you or reach you or get some of your cute little
My linspirations.
the little what is it?
Linspirations.
Linspiration.
I have a wonderful friend who's like my daughter, Cat Panic.
Oh, I love Kat. She's a Jess FM,
Yep.
Jess TV host also.
And she created a page for me
Oh,
and helped
great.
me move pictures because I'm techno challenged. I spent 2.5 hours the night before, thought I had it down pat, lost everything.
Oh, forgot to hit
Oh, well.
save.
So Kat helped me, so I do have a Facebook page called Linspirations.
Okay.
And I make something called RVMs, rear view mirror jewelry. You don't have to put it on your rear view mirror, but the focus is a piece that gives you a thought with a crystal that's hanging that gives you energy, and the realization to please know that the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield for a reason, and that reason is so that we learn from the past, but we don't live in it, and that we live in the present and look forward to the future.
Right.
And just remember that
That's a little mirror. That rear mirror is just little.
it's just little.
Yeah. So don't focus on what's behind you. Instead, if you were worried about your past, maybe one of these little trinkets and one of these beautiful little gifts, which they can get.
Actually, you can order it right off my page now.
Oh,
thanks
wow.
to Kat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Kat's great.
Yeah, she
We
is.
love her here
Yeah.
at Jess FM.
And my other friend Joanne Pommier from Colors Hair and Spa.
Okay, that's
also
where I was
has-
looking for that plug for colors.
Yep, she also sells my wares in there.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, thank you. And so if you're feeling that you are living in the past, maybe you need to pick up something or one of these little gifts to hang in your rear view mirror or even in any mirror to remind you that the past is that behind you.
Mhm.
It's past.
Mhm.
And the only thing we can do is be in the now, really.
Yeah.
We can't even worry about the future.
No.
We have to
No.
worry about, don't have to worry, all we have to do is enjoy being
Yeah.
in the now and choose that,
Yeah.
to choose to be in the now.
And breathe. And so many things.
And all those things.
Yes. And laugh.
Right. So, so that's over by the New York,
It used to be the York.
right?
I'm not sure what the whole building is called now.
Well, I think everybody on 13th Street there, and
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Fourth, fifth, fourth,
Second.
fourth, second,
I
third.
don't know.
Okay, well, it's the big brown building that says the York, and along the side there's the.
Does it still say the York?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
It has all my life.
Oh, okay. On the other side it says Colors, and
Mhm.
there's a few other. There's a Vietnamese restaurant in the same parking
Mm.
lot, and a few other stores in the parking lot. So,
Mhm.
yes.
So if you happen to go there or need a good do, and but we
Yeah.
do support the catwalk here also,
Yeah.
and our guys that are they're fabulous too,
Yeah.
and I wish them happiness for their new journeys in life also.
I'm all about having things visual to see.
Mhm.
So it triggers take a breath or laugh or positivity or take care of self or whatever. Plaster sticky notes all over, but have something, or on your phone.
Yeah, me, I'm all technical, so I need my alarm at 4:44 that says I love everybody.
Good one.
I forgive everybody and I love myself. And that's just kind of part of the routine. And not so much anymore. I still see the 444s and the signs and the symbols all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that's what got me through a really, really hard time. And if you are going through a really hard time, set your alarm that says how wonderful you are.
Mm-hmm.
That it goes off at maybe 4:44. And thinking about 4:44, I think it's time we do a meditation. Time flies when you're having fun.
When you're having fun.
So thank you again for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And I really wanted to touch a little bit more about some of them positive affirmations and the positive things. And I think that's what you are about, is doing the positive affirmations.
I've been inspired by so many people,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to be inspired and meet new people. And,
Mm-hmm.
and
well, you've just opened a door to a whole big bunch of fine folks.
Oh, good. more flying folks.
More fine folks down at the Spiritualist Center. And just a reminder that there is a meditation at 5:30 today. I'm not sure who will be doing it, but it will be at 425 11th Street South at the Spiritualist Center. Do remember to drop in on Sundays at 7 p.m. We will be doing medium every Sunday. There is a medium speaker, 1, 2, sometimes 3. I will be doing spiritual healing there this weekend, and that's also free. If you're feeling down and out and you want to feel a charge of some beautiful white light, creator energy come through you and spark your energy, you're more than welcome to join us. Remember, that's 7 p.m. and it's going to be an exciting Sunday this week. I hope to see y'all, and I hope everybody has a real safe and great type of Halloween. So I'm just going to do my meditation now.
Go for it. I'm
just going to move in. I am Deb's Deb. Welcome to my show. Today we're going to have a meditation on releasing negative energy. And last week we did also, but we brought in light. So this week we're going to do more of a visualization. So I just want you to take a deep breath and relax. And I just want you to see a bright, bright light, right, shining in front of you. A big, bright light that is just embedding your whole body, blowing out all the negative energy. Now your little spirit is just going to rise up and take a little journey with me now, just for a couple minutes. And we're going to take a little journey over to your favorite beach, just into the most beautiful area that you've ever been in. This little beach could be by a river, it could be by the ocean, it could be by your favorite lake that you camp with your family. And I just want you to imagine sitting at the edge of the river or the lake or the body of water and putting your feet in and relaxing your feet with the energy. As your feet touch the water, I want you to just realize that there is a little rain drizzle coming. And as you're standing in your place of peace and happiness, the rain comes on over your body, washing away all the negative energy. We're asking for silver rain today to come and to clear your energy. As that beautiful silver rain comes, it washes through your crown, your third eye, your throat, up your spine and down your spine. We're rinsing that energy. Now going through your shoulders, going through your arms, going into your heart chakra, washing that beautiful silver light through your body, making you iridescent and shining. And as we wash the negative energy off, we wash through your solar plexus. Any kind of fear you have with social energy, letting that flow off. Going now down into your sacral energy, any sexual frustrations, any cravings or addictions, fears and hopes that are not serving you right now are just being washed right off, hitting onto the big rock that you're sitting on or onto the beach. As that wave comes up, it washes away all negative energy. As we let that energy flow, going down our hips, through our legs, knees, calves, heels, taking away all that extra energy that is not serving us when we work hard and we feel fatigued, washing away all that fatigued energy, taking it now down into the river. And as you watch the silver rain, looking at your hands, seeing that you are now sparkling silver, shaking off all of that negative energy into the water. As it flows into the water, I want you to just watch all that negativity change into gold sparkles. That the bottom of the river or lake, body of water that you're next to is just starting to shimmer with gold, golden lights, knowing that everything negative that's ever happened to you has the ability to turn into gold, to go into something valuable, a lesson. As we release all the negativity, we take out the love and the lessons, and we reach over and grab a handful of that beautiful water. And I want you to now just pick up that handful of water and just throw it over your face, rinsing it away, waking you up, rejuvenating your body with extra good energy from Mother Earth. Go out and have fun this weekend and play safe. Be good to others, be kind to yourself as the number one thing. Thanks for watching Deb's Den. Center and ground yourself often. And always be happy, always be friendly. And if you're not, fake it till you make it. Thanks for joining us. Would you like to say the last couple words?
I loved what you said. I was just sitting at the ocean myself, so I'm still there.
Okay. Well, you can stay at the ocean if you
I'm
like.
going to stay, yeah.
I like to go to the ocean often myself.
Yes.
Go for that dip. Thanks for listening and thanks for showing up on Deb's Den. Please stay tuned. We will be having another show with Reverend Pellick will be next. So stay tuned and tune in. Thanks for listening. Have a fantastic, safe Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye. Have a good day.